Manthorne, the
Oh,
legend himself. Thank
I
you
don't know about
so
all
much
that.
for taking the time to speak with me.
You bet. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
My whole family and I, 4 generations, have been the biggest fan of you for so many years. We've watched you on Ace of Cakes, now Buddy versus Duff, anything that you're in, we always watch you because we just admire your skill and talent and expertise. So I'm inner fangirling right now. Probably not inner, outer fangirling.
No, pretty out there. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy throughout this very crazy time. But congratulations to you on all the success with your career. Let's jump right in. And first off, if you can tell us how you got started in becoming a chef and really owning in on your skill in cake building.
Sure. My journey has been kind of an unusual one. I didn't go to culinary school. Um, I always loved cooking when I was a kid. I was always in the kitchen. I'd always be like hanging out with my mom, my grandmother, and learning everything. And then after college, which I went to for geography,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I started working at a kitchen, and I was a cook. So I learned some stuff there, and then it wasn't really till I hooked up with Duff that he taught me some cake decorating, and I think everybody kind of knows the story from there. The two of us just sort of figured it out and learned everything we could by just seeing the world around us, and there weren't too many resources back then, so we just had to figure it out.
Brilliant. Well, you guys truly make a great dynamic duo, and the whole team at Charm City Cakes is just an unbeatable team. So we really respect and admire all of you guys. Now, you've worked on a countless amount of masterpieces of cakes, whether it's through Charm City Cakes, Ace of Cakes, now Buddy versus Duff. Do you have a particular cake that is your favorite that you've worked on?
Oh man, it's so hard to ever decide what that is because especially with the cakes that are tied into TV, there's more than just the cake part to it. There's the experience that went along with it, and the experience of going to the Lucas Ranch up in Northern California where they filmed Star Wars, and we got to stay there for a week, and we made a life-size R2D2 for them. It's just hard to top that for just like cake plus experience. But I have a lot of other favorites along the way, like an Eiffel Tower that I made and Taj Mahal that I made. It's usually the cakes that you saw as maybe like the greatest challenge. Those are the ones that end up being the favorite because you really had to test yourself, and that's where the joy comes in.
Absolutely. For me, what I love seeing is not only do you guys put in so much effort building and creating and decorating the cake, but the whole transport is part of the experience itself, transporting the cake to the location and all the craziness that goes along with it. So it truly is an experience for you guys and for all the viewers. We're like at the edge of our seats, hoping everything goes right. But I also want to talk about Buddy versus Duff. Of course, season 2 is currently airing right now. But season 2 is quite different from season 1 with the challenges that you guys have to take on. So, what was it like for you working on these massive artistic cakes, but within 24 hours?
Right. Yeah, it's funny. In some ways, this season was maybe a little easier than last season for me personally because that first season it was just me and Duff working
Right.
together. And this time there was a lot of each cake you could kind of push the burden from one decorator to another. The first cake that we did, the Cathedral, that was really something I took on myself, and I had planned that whole thing out, really planned where all the decorators were going to focus their talents. Um, so it was just different. I think I preferred this season because I learned a lot. I had never really worked with Sunny or Natalie before, and they have had a different experience coming into it. They've figured out things in their own way, and I really learned a lot just watching the two of them.
Very cool. It's just so great to see how season after season things are changing and changing in such exciting ways. So we love watching it. Now, is there a moment from working on season 2 of Buddy versus Duff that sticks out to you the most?
Oh man, whew, wow. Um, I think it's tough to top the final episode, which hasn't aired yet. We filmed it in Galaxy's Edge, which is the Star Wars themed universe down at Disneyland. And we got to be in there behind the scenes, really up close and seeing like what the experience is like inside of like such an amazing theme park as that. So that's I really think out of everything, that's probably the coolest thing that we got to do.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing that episode, of course. And also in Buddy versus Duff and also in Ace of Cakes, you guys have teamed up with either celebrities or big events to create these massive and wonderful cakes that we all enjoy seeing. Now, if you could either team up with another celebrity or maybe an upcoming event and create a cake for them, who celebrity or who event would it be
Okay, that's
for?
a great question. Huh. I man, I love I one thing that we don't get to do too often when we make cakes is like I don't know, like team with musicians, and I love music, and I'd love to be involved in like I don't know, making some big cake for the Grammys or something where I really get to interact with people. And I mean, I've made a couple cakes for Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett, and that was just amazing being around and seeing these like top notch musicians. And anytime I get to work with people like that, I'm excited.
Very, very cool. That's what I was thinking because we're going to talk about it in a little bit, actually, your music career, because we love listening to your music and your EPs
Oh,
you
thanks.
listen to. But I would love to see you guys do a cake for like the Grammys. That's exactly what I was thinking about. So crossing our fingers, maybe in another
Right.
show, we'll see that happen.
You
Now,
got to put it out in the universe, right?
exactly. So we're putting it out in this interview. There we go. We'll hashtag it and everything. So, as we mentioned in Buddy versus Death, season 2 is definitely different, doesn't have the baking component in this season. So, we're crossing our fingers, of course, for a third season of the show. If you could see you guys take on a different challenge that would maybe be different from the first 2 seasons, what would you guys like to take on?
I mean, if there's a season 3, I'm scared. No, I don't know how we could make anything bigger than we're doing now. I guess they'd have to give us more time, but like we're already pushing the boundaries. I mean, just I don't like the necessarily the competitive aspect of cake decorating, and if there was a way they could figure out to really make it seem more collaborative, where we're making actual cakes for like charity events or something. I think
Right.
that would really make it easier for us to go into this again.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'm again such a big fan of all of your work and Duff's work, and I love watching the show. I would love to see maybe in season 3 some kind of like collaboration of you guys like doing an amazing racing where you guys like travel to maybe like another country or something and build a cake there, or maybe have like fans submit in requests if you guys have to do it on the spot. There's so many ideas, and we'd love to see you guys have another season of this really exciting show. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about your music career because you're a very talented musician. So, who are some of your
Yeah.
musical influences?
Um, really, I come at it, I think, from like folk musicians mostly, folk and country. So, Townes Van Zandt is a huge inspiration to me. Willie Nelson, Joni Mitchell, and then I also listened to a lot of like indie rock and Brit rock back when I was younger, like The Cure
Oh, I
and
love The Cure.
goth stuff, Depeche Mode and
Yes,
Bauhaus.
yes, I'm a big fan of both of those.
You like Susie and the Banshees also?
I am not so familiar with that band, but Depeche Mode and The Cure. I mean, my mom, like, when I was younger, she's like, we got to listen to all of these. I have like shirts of them and everything. Saw Depeche Mode live, I think, twice. So yeah, so it's been great. Now, I know you also do a lot of performances as well. So, if you could describe the feeling you get when you perform live in just one word, what word would it
um, I guess sort of like transformative.
Very
Like
nice.
I feel when I perform, I go to a different place. Like I go to this other spot inside of myself that's not always there.
It's beautiful. And music really transcends and helps people go to different worlds and helps become an escape for a lot of people. And your music does that for a lot. So it's very cool. And we look forward to many more upcoming performance from you when things get back
Right
to
on.
normal. But Geof, we're going to do a quick speed round. Are you ready for it?
I'm not ready for anything fast, but sure, hit me.
Okay. So first one is favorite cake flavor.
Chocolate espresso.
Ooh, very nice. And dream musician to collaborate with.
Ooh, Miranda Lambert.
Cool. I'd love to see that happen. Again, we're going to put it out in the atmosphere. I'd love to do that. And what is your favorite show to binge watch?
Ooh. The Office.
Okay, I mean, you shouldn't have gotten me started with The Office. I have like blankets, shirts, everything of The Office. So I love it. Who's your favorite part of the speed round? Who's your favorite character from The Office?
Creed, no doubt.
Creed.
I have a signed script signed by Creed. So
Lucky.
yeah.
That is awesome. He like his one-liners are just perfect, and when he comes in with his like dark hair saying he's 30 is just classic.
Right. Yeah, he gets like one or two an episode, and that's it. But they're just perfect every time.
And I mean, I don't want to go on the tangent, but when he like smacks Meredith and runs away, classic. Those are just like things you could never forget.
Right.
Last one for the speed round is what is your guilty pleasure snack?
Ooh. Ice cream with pretzels on it.
Oh, yummy. You're getting me hungry now. I'm the one who made the questions, but I'm getting hungry. Well, you did phenomenal on that speed round. So
Oh,
the
good.
speed and the competitions are really getting you good on these like fast
Yeah, right.
things. But lastly, Geof, if you could bring out one message to all of your fans, what message would that be?
Oh wow. Um, I think okay. Um, what what kind of like taking from my journey to how I got here is that it's the things that get you where you're going are it's everything. It's the failures and it's the successes, and those are the things that make you really get to where you're going in your life.
Excellent. I love that. Well, thank you so very much for taking the time to speak with me today and for really making such a positive impact on the lives of many, putting smiles on people's faces with your cakes and your creativity and your music. So we really admire, again, all of your work. I just have to show you something. Being a big fan, again, I went to Duff's Cake Mix and made this
You did?
cake. I don't know if you can see it.
That's really good.
Thank you, but I just had to show it. I was like, one day when I interview Geof, I'm going to show him my skill. But thank you so much again, and we can't wait to see you in a lot more cake excitement and your music as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'll
Thanks.
see you around.